happens in Dubai and in the region, and and you display your products and services there. But to take it to a larger audience, we need to have a very strategic approach. And we as SGI, we've got around 23 years of experience. Our show is 23 years old. And we have different categories within our show. Now, what we are doing is we want to understand how we can kind of help you all to reach out to your potential target audience, to grow your business, basically. And so there are certain challenges that you face. There are certain, opportunities that are there in the market. You have new technologies to talk about. So how do we put everything as a story in front of your potential target audience in different markets? So the idea is to understand from you all today. So what we do is we will basically, I'm sure you've got the email shots, you've got the agenda, from Dilip. So it talks about, understanding the industry first. The same companies that you represent, you can maybe introduce yourself now. And once that is done, we go one by one, question by question, and you are all free to add to the discussion any insights that you have on the industry is more than welcome. So we document this, and we will take the story out. Bandana is here from Print Week, so she'll be also writing a story on this particular event, and this goes out across the region. So your brand will be visible across. So that is what we do. And we do social media also. So again, through another channel, we'll promote you guys. Okay? So firstly, I'll start from this side. If you could just, introduce yourself and the company that you represent, and maybe a little bit more about your products and services that you have. Thank you.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Myself, Mohammad Tanveer. I'm a sales and marketing specialist for Trumpf, especially. Trumpf is a worldwide well-known laser machines. We are providing solution to steel fabrication, steel cutting. And we are taking care for this UAE market. Then we have Jordan, we have Kuwait. We are providing solution. We do have our own service team here to provide support to this market. Yeah. And nice to see you all. Thank you.
Hello, good morning, everyone. This is Mohammed Abuzant from Atad, the agency of Trumpf Technologies. I think basically Mr. Tanveer has discussed everything about our technologies. So if there are any more questions or concerns, you can mainly ask us.
I'm Bandana Shah from Print Week magazine. We are an international B2B magazine, and the one I work for is covering Middle East and Africa, and we focus especially on the printing and packaging industry in Middle East and Africa. So we have a wide range of coverage of wide format, pre-press, post-press, and some stories on successful businesses here, so that we can all learn about the market and all. So I think you can go through the magazine and let me know if we can cover something that you have to share as well. Thank you.
Good morning, gentlemen. Myself, Gladstone. I am the local business unit manager for robotics business across Middle East and North African market. It's really pleasure being with you all guys here. As you all know, ABB is a leading manufacturer of industrial robots. With more than 400,000 robots up in running condition, present in more than 53 countries. So we cater to different industrial segments. Today, robots find its application in improving productivity and process quality itself. So the main industry segment, it's like Trumpf. We are into the metal fabrication industry, where robots are predominantly used for welding and cutting applications, whether it's MIG welding, spot welding, laser cutting, plasma cutting, whatever it is. So then what we do, we buy the best welding machines in the market, who has got the local service capabilities. We integrate with the robot and offer such solutions to the metal fabrication industries. So this metal fabrication industries, it can be a furniture industry, it can be a cable tray manufacturer, anything welded manually or anything which is cut manually can be replaced by a robotic process. The other industry, it can be food and beverage industry for high-speed pick-and-place applications, end-of-line palletizing applications. General industries, again, like the carbonate manufacturers, cemetery manufacturers. Whatever done manually, a tedious process can be automated with a robot. This is also to facilitate the operators. Today operators are becoming more fragile. Yesterday we were in a rice manufacturing company where they pack rice in 40 kilo bags. And these rice bags are running at 12 bags per minute. Just imagine how many operators you may need to handle those 12 bags in a minute. And point number 2, in terms of health and safety today, all companies have started focusing on health and safety. On ergonomics perspective, a human operator or a human being is not expected to handle such heavy loads in such fast cycle time requirements. So robots find its way in this kind of end-of-line palletizing. When it comes to food and beverage industry, as you see, human beings are a mass of infections. We carry too much of bacteria with us. We travel many places. When this food particles are manufactured with too many human intervention, you transmit a lot of infection to the food products also. So here robots are used to handle these kind of food products, not only to facilitate faster lines, but also to avoid other safety standards within the manufacturing process. So we have different robots starting from the SCARAs, the articulated robots, the collaborative robots. When I speak about collaborative robots, today we are moving into a scenario where from high volume to low product mix, today the industry is moving towards high product mix and low volume. Today, like what you order in Amazon, no two individuals have got the same requirement. Imagine a car manufacturing company which has got 4 variants now in a particular model. We are moving towards a scenario where each individual would be given an opportunity to configure his own car. He will have his own color, he will have own customized requirement. So out of 100 cars manufactured in a production capacity, there will be 100 configurations. So this is what I mean to say about a high product mix and low production rate. So then you need the human to be collaborating closely with the robots. So this is why the collaborative robots comes into play. You will have a robot sitting between 2 operators. I assemble some portion of the phone and hand it over to the next operator. And then he does it and he pass it on to the other robot. So this is what we call it as collaborative, where the human beings and the robots share the same workspace. With the other industrial robots, they are blind machines. Operators are not expected to go closely to the robots as it can harm them. They have to be within cages. So we are breaking those barriers, bringing operators and the robots working closely in the same working environment. If you speak about the chocolate manufacturing companies, we have supplied some projects in a company called La Ronda. It's quite important to specify about this company as they make chocolates out of the natural fruit, which they make chocolates out of dates. Which is the local product here. So they're making chocolates out of it. So in this kind of chocolate manufacturing industries, you need robots to handle chocolates at a rate of 120 picks per minute. You imagine how tedious it's to handle with operators. And when you deploy a robot, it still needs a human touch. When you make chocolate out of natural fruits, it still needs a human touch for certain activities. So robots are becoming so friendly where operators can interact, work closely with the robots without harming each other. So we try to protect the human being operator from the robot, and we protect the robot also from the operators. It would be something strange for you to listen. How do you protect robots from the operators? Robots are meant to operate at 120 picks per minute. If you have the operator frequently intervening because of no reason, then the robot stops. So it's not allowed to perform to its maximum potential. So when we deliver a solution, we ensure that robots are allowed or permitted to work to its fullest capacity. Yes.
Very interesting.
Thanks for your attention.
Hi everyone, nice meeting you guys here. And I think I'm the only Asian, I'm the only like Chinese here. Yeah, that's true, and that's our business. Like, because now many people they just want to buy from China, and like machinery, like all kinds of this kind of signage, like LED and LCD, something related to advertising. Because we have we have 3 partners, and we are all professional and professional in advertising industry, and we have many connections in China. So we think, why not? Because now we know there are so many requirements in UAE and who want to buy from China, but there's some maybe communication problem or technical problem or something. So we said, okay, why not we come here and open a company and to sort out these kind of problems. So we are here like a company, but we are mainly in advertising because we have experience. We are mainly in advertising to provide service for UAE, not only UAE, like UAE and MENA area, and we are connected MENA area clients with China factories like that. And now we are expanding to Europe also. We have a base in Germany, so means later we will connect it all those like China, Taiwan, UAE, and Europe together like that. So means we are a company who provides service in advertising industry. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
My name is Nawaz Ahmed. I'm from Business Point International. We are dealing with the fiber laser machines. We are the distributor of Bestronic, DNA Bestronic. It's part Chinese and is a part Swedish company. The Bestronic took over DNA a few years back, so they are basically working together. Our machine is actually making a lot more interesting, making interesting clients with a lot of bigger companies, particularly in past couple of years, or if I would say last year. We have more units in Asia and in UAE than anyone else, with all due respect to everyone else. And Trump is a really magnificent machine. It's really good, respectable product, and people love it. And I do face time to time. And but it comes to they respect the client, actually respect their product, and they respect our in a different scenario. It comes to technology, then pricing, and etc. So they, where do we win is in the market in a fiber laser. We win with much more providing after service. We have large number of team providing around the Asia as well as Africa, and as well as UAE and Oman, and Saudi Arabia is coming up quite rapidly in the recent times. Market is increasing there, especially in Dammam and the other areas. So we are paying attention there too. And other areas we're trying to build up as well. And we also in the plasma cutting machines and all the other advertising machines, all pretty much print media. That was our start of the business since 2003, and we've been into the laser machines quite long time back, and gained so much experience on this, and getting hold on to the market, and it's actually increasing because people now, as the gentleman was explaining, robots and stuff like that, and machineries and everything. So the era is changing. People want to add a technology into their businesses rather than working on the manual and the old methods and all of that. So this is what we are actually getting into, and we are increasing and enhancing our quality and product and machineries. We last time did talk to Bestronic that we need to compete with the market, and so to lower the prices. And one thing which was impresses me, and they said we will not lower the prices, we will actually increase the product, making it better in the market, and rather than decreasing the prices. And that's what is actually heading towards. So the events like this, and I was really impressed, the events, the steel fab in Sharjah was actually quite useful for us, and it's pretty much every year is quite useful for us. And it actually gives the opportunity to make yourself much more wider and larger within the region, not only in the UAE, within the region. People come to know, and then throughout the year, you actually bank on that. People actually, it makes difference. It does makes a difference on the sale later on, throughout the year until the next one comes in. But events like this and Print Week magazines and stuff like that, awareness and what is it there in the market, like impressive stuff that the reports and stuff, that we do actually face this type of inquiries. When we actually giving the machinery to the company, equipment with all of the laser cutting solutions and everything, and all the sheet loaders and etc. That's also remote. But people do ask more than that. They are actually demanding more than that. Like for robotics, they ask, do you have a, like, and so yeah, it's good to know that, and it's really good technology, and this is something I was always looking for, that there is a gap in the market to fill it up. So this is something I was wanted to share with you guys. Okay. Thank you.
Hi. Good morning, everyone. My name is Reggie. I am coming from Acumec. We are actually manufacture CNC machines, plasma, laser machine, and water jet. And we are bringing the parts from Germany and USA. We are a manufacturing base here in the UAE. We have a big plant in Jebel Ali too, Dubai. We have all kind of cutting solution for metal, marble, and wood. What do you call according to the quality, according to the international level. So this I have to share with you. That's it.
So thank you, everyone. So let's have a quick round of applause. We have Donna and Jonna. They're from IAC. So they are an integral part of the team. So if you need any further information, you can also get in touch with them. Now, what we would do is first understand the current challenges faced by your industries, your product profile or whatever it is. What are the current challenges that you're facing? If we can identify that, it could be anything, you know better. And perhaps how we can solve those challenges and problems through, maybe better communication or reaching out to the right audience and or widening your customer base. So how can we help you, and what is the solution? What are the challenges? So that is the discussion that we can start off with, right? So you have the mic, and perhaps anybody who's interested to start the discussion is more than welcome to do that.
Today the problem is the connect in the market. As a robotic supplier, we are not reaching to the right customers. Our customers are not knowing the contacts here locally. As everyone are introducing, we have some plasma cutting machines or water jet cutting machines. Customers tend to go out of country to explore these products, but you have some supplier locally in the market itself. There is some connection missing between the customers and the suppliers. We need to fill this gap. Today, we are not knowing why the investments are probably happening. And even if at all, I may be wrong in this communication. But in my knowledge, because robots doesn't contribute directly to the process, the process machine suppliers are here, the friends are here. Maybe they are the best judge to say. But as a robotic supplier, I really see a huge gap between our approach to the market and the expectations of the customers. Probably this is not met. So when it comes to the event organizers like you, it's quite important to understand what products ABB has got and what are the industrial segments we intend to approach. And probably if you can have a right tapping in the market to understand various manufacturers in those industries, if they can be reached out, or if you can be a bridge between the OEMs and the customers to connect us directly, so that then we can get into a business agreement with them. Maybe we can deliberate more on this if someone feels this is what it is, and then probably we can continue, or you can also please extend your thoughts.
That the gap between the supplier and the clients, we're acting like that. We're acting like the communicator between the supplier and end user. So we are supplying some. Not like OEM, but we are we know the requirement from our clients, and we get specific items for him or her from China or from Taiwan or even from Europe, like that. But still, there's some technology part we are not that much in because some areas. In fact, I'm more in printing. I'm more in printing area, like printing machine, but like laser cutting and the CNC, this kind of part, I'm still learning also. Like sometimes if my clients give me some requirement, I don't understand, so I need to learn from so many different suppliers, and then after that I can give him an answer, like that. So.
So how do you reach your suppliers? I mean, do you have a database, or how do you get in touch with your suppliers?
Because I'm in advertising industry for almost 7 years something, and my partner in this industry for more than 10 years. So means during which before we only located in China. So means during which we know many connections from different, but all in advertising.
Right.
We know many factories, and we know who is the best one, and who is more professional, who have the best quantity, who have the cheapest price, so that within all this of database, we can provide the best solution for our clients.
Okay. Okay. Great stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, are people coming to you now more rather than going to China directly? Do you think that change is happening?
Yeah, it's happening because we also have after-sale service here. Means our service is not only like purchasing. After purchasing, we know the most important thing for the machine is the after-sale service.
Right.
So we also have a partner who is in technology, like in after-sale service for more than 10 years in China. So now he located in UAE and provide after-sale service also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
So, what are the other challenges? Nawaz, anything that you have to add? Do you think?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I think making the client awareness is the large clients. They know about this equipment, know about this machinery. They actually go out and find out, and some of them they actually don't know. And we approach them, and then they come to know. Oh wow! These technology actually does exist, and this is nice.
Right.
And you then explain to them, and sometimes we show them the demo and everything. But it would make a more tremendous difference if magazine like this approaching to their doorstep every day.
Right.
I move much more in a developing world. I'm actually moved from London. Over there, when you have a businesses, and there every day you will receive magazines at your doorsteps and your offices and your businesses and your factories and all of that. So people actually looking at all the equipments and all the machineries and everything. Right. I think it would make a tremendous difference in a business where business like us, Trump or other people, there should be some magazines or different type of magazine. As a matter of fact, the more there are, the more competition is. The more competition, the progress and the quality of it and the service of it will be much better. Like newspaper. Newspaper, like if there was only one newspaper, then there would be no competition.
That's right.
You know, so there are more than one newspaper, so they're actually enhancing their services in a large level. They're approaching a much more better. So I think there should be a some kind of a print media. Well, it wouldn't call it exactly media,
Right.
but it should be some kind of a magazine that issue, at least if not monthly, you know, at least weekly. I would imagine weekly, if not monthly, whatever, so that well, usually is twice a week. In another part of the world, I've been twice a week that you receive
Yes.
through your door. And actually, some of the businessmen, they actually wait for it.
You're right.
They're waiting for it. Oh yeah, okay, they are. I mean, what we say that okay, there are people, whatever they need, they just go and they type on the internet, Google. Okay, they see that. But something physically, it still makes a difference.
Yeah. There's no
You know.
magazine here in this part of the world.
Yeah. So the magazines, the managing director or the boss man comes in a company, he's handed the magazines, you know, like most of the time newspaper. Sometimes we don't even read it and it's there in the office. But sometimes we do, you know. So let's say if it's 100 clients, out of 100, maybe 10 only looked at it. That makes a difference to all of us,
Yeah.
right? So they see that ad from us, they see that ad from Trump, they see the ad from other people, and other people in the market. And not only that, as a me being in the market, I get to know who we are competing with.
Yeah.
You know, it's the first time we come to face, and I heard it so much. So some of the other peoples are here. So that would makes a one community somewhere, one of these magazines or whatever, will be given to our doorsteps, and to as a we provider, but also given to the people who are actually in need of these companies, of these big, large corporations and these factories, all of this, small or large, it should be given. I don't know whether it should be given a free. I think it should be given a free, because the advertiser would be paying for it, like us, would be paying some. But once it's come, like Auto Trader, the car magazines, right, is actually, I don't know here, but in UK, is actually given a free. Or a very small amount of being paid if you buy on the petrol station, but otherwise, if when they're giving it to the doorsteps, it's a free. So that actually people look at it. So the more the popularities come, the more the people want to put the ad in there. And that will actually make the contact direct with the client, and there will be much more details. It makes easier for sales people, for all the companies as a sales. So the more the awareness that the companies are having, we mostly rely on only on that we put on ourselves on the YouTube or on the Google or on the Facebook or whatever. But I think it should be more than that. A physical. This is physical, right? Some like twice a week or once a week or whatever is actually being given, and there is all details of all the companies, all the new machineries, and all the new equipments and all these things delivered directly to these companies, individuals all over UAE, so that we can get the demand. I think that is missing, and I see that other part of the world, and it makes a tremendous difference to the consumer, as well as the suppliers, as well as within the community, as we are actually selling the machines here. Mostly machineries are Europe and everywhere else, and all of these, and that give us the awareness as a being, and that brings us pretty much on one page, right? So that we can see that we are competing, and this is so that makes the actually service. You might actually perform better, but how do you perform better? Is that we actually see that these guys actually putting wow these things. So next week you want to do it better than that. competing is better, is healthy. Like, this is something I want to say. But
I think now it's not the best time to judge the challenges or whatever, because we as providers, we provide our machinery or our technologies to manufacturers, and those manufacturers they sell their products or whatever they're supplying to, let's say, just for example, for a construction site, and there are, because of the market situation now, it's a bit tough. So, for example, there are no projects going on. So it's like a chain. You cannot judge, because now the market situation is a bit down. So that might be a reason for the challenges.
So when the market situation is down, so how do you realign your strategies? Is there any strategy that you follow?
You're looking for the solutions.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe you should wait.
For how long?
Yeah.
How long will you wait?
You
the
just
key-
have to go with the
key-
flow.
Yeah, the key thing is the pricing strategies. You know what? When we are here, sometimes we find the products are slightly expensive than the place of origin. So what people are doing is, from here, instead of buying it from you guys, they may go to the manufacturer's home country.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they do direct dealing. Only cost is the transportation cost. And
Exactly.
they also come and they fix it, do everything for you, and then they go. So
And that's why we are here to find a solution.
exactly. So what I'm trying to say is, so what have you done so far? I mean, is there anything that you've done or suggested to your parent company to change?
Actually, it's my second week in this company. I hope in the future I can figure out some solutions
True.
if the market situation still.
Actually, what I will tell you,
Yeah.
like for this solution, actually, like if you are leading, we are providing these machines to the market, then they are provided their services. There are job shops.
Right.
So anybody is requiring a you can say ultimate finish, ultimate standard, they can still go for it. They can still go for it. Then we are recommending those people when they are contacting us that yes, we do have these solutions, and sometimes they cannot rely on only single machine. Okay, they have a big project.
Right.
Fine enough. Okay, 2-3 other customers, they will be supplying. They will giving them services. Even sometimes as we are leading into laser cutting, we have CO2, we have fiber, technology as well. So then we are introducing to other, customers, to each other. Then they are helping each other and taking the big projects. So that's how we are providing services, and we are as a bridge, like a bridge, We are, and there are so many customers which are only working as a job shop,
Okay.
and then they are giving services to one time to armored vehicles, and at the same time they are giving to kitchens.
Okay.
The only thing is you need a master which can provide you all the solutions, and then yes, we are doing so. But as my friend Mr. Nawaz, he said, I really like his idea. There should be a bridge which communicates so many things, and it can help each other.
bring us on one page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like supplier
So this bridge can really help us.
and like supplier as well as the productions houses,
Yeah.
the consumers.
Exactly.
So they get to know us.
Yeah.
Some sort of, I like the idea of auto traders, the magazine of the car.
Yeah.
So when you look at the one to buy the car, you see that all the showrooms, all the peoples, right? And you see all the cars.
Yeah.
Right? So they are come familiar with each other,
Exactly. Yeah.
right? So, and everybody details is there.
Yeah.
Which person to contact is there,
Exactly.
right? It may be number of times that we want to communicate with each other,
Right.
right? But if I just need to go and look for you, or anyone, or any one of us,
Yeah.
I need to go on a Google, okay, look for there and whatever.
Yeah.
But I think something physical,
Yeah.
it makes a tremendous difference still.
Yeah.
And it's out there in a large number, still in the western part of the world.
Right.
It's still there that actually people have that. And this kind of seminars or the smaller meetings and things like that, that's healthy.
Yeah.
that brings, I mean, this is the first time I'm attending.
Yeah.
You know,
Other than exhibitions.
other than the exhibition, only people meet.
When everybody is busy,
you don't
they're-
have a chance to meet. I
yeah.
mean, you know,
Yeah, busy.
you're not in
Yeah.
that mind frame.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Of course not.
You're only looking for a business. The moment somebody comes in, oh, I'm from Red.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, man, okay, business card, all right.
Yeah.
Right. But this kind
This is a good effort.
is actually like getting to know, you know, and you share much more details.
Right.
So I think is much more putting on one page.
Right.
And yes, is no, and I've seen that if the as a we being the supplier become friendly environment,
Yeah.
that makes much more actually a different approach to all the clients.
Correct.
Because if we are friendly, then we could actually come up with the tactic. How do we actually approach? And then we could share our ideas.
Absolutely.
And we could say, look, this is what is demanding there,
Mm.
but I don't think so that we will win there.
Mhm.
How about you? I'll go and try there.
Right.
And mostly our clients are actually coming from Asia and they want the services from here.
Right.
They don't want, yeah, there are a lot of people when we give them the quotations and etc. Because our products are from Switzerland and our one is Switzerland,
Right.
assembled in China. Mostly these things are assembled in China. People have no problem with that. They know this product is coming from whether China or whether Switzerland or whether it's coming from Italy,
Right.
right? And they know that the price they're going to win, but this, I'm talking about, you know, the psychological factor of the client, right? The first thing they look at, oh, okay, but I can go to Italy and buy from there half of the price, and I'll have a nice visit there too, right? But why don't they go there? They don't go there because if something goes wrong, this is something, the insecurity kicks in. If something goes wrong, whose doors do I knock,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
So they will go there and they will promise them the sky and earth.
Right.
Yes, you will, you know, call us, we will send on the next flight, the engineer will be there to fix your problem, or we will optimize over the online, we will fix your problem, etc., etc. But in reality, it doesn't happen.
Mm.
People still don't feel secure. People
Yeah.
love to go with the local companies
Right.
because they know that these people will call them and they come here because our products are not that cheaper either.
Yeah.
They are expensive. They goes in the millions.
Right.
The fiber laser and CO2 and all of that, right? So they would like to actually have that service
Yeah.
that where that people feel safe
Mhm.
in that sense. So that is what I was actually saying is that people from the Asian market as well as the African market, they like to come to Dubai.
Mm.
They like to come to Dubai and buy from here.
Mhm.
Because here they still feel better
Right.
service providing than from other part of the world.
Correct.
Where it happened to be China or Germany or whatever. With all due respect to all, they provide the service, but they feel a little hesitated. They feel a little pulled back.
Mm.
That imagine they then ask us something later on
Right.
that no, you need to pay for this is not our fault, this was not covered, etc., etc. I'm talking about the reality and the facts,
Mhm.
right? This was not covered and etc. So we have to send our engineer. You will pay for the flight. You will pay for the hotel accommodations
Mhm.
and the labor charges. The bill runs up to $5,000-6,000, right? The client don't feel safe,
Mm.
right? Some people have these past experiences, and they actually do share it with us. And for those bases, they actually then feel comfortable to go with us.
Right.
You know, so I think that has to be approached to as well as the this type of meetings and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So that we share the ideas, and I think there are tremendous amount of interest from the Asia
Mm.
country, other Asian country, as well as the African countries are coming up also. They are buying the machineries now,
Mhm.
some of the countries.
Mhm.
You only just need to, you know, this type of magazines can approach them.
Right.
Yes, because as I said, these type of people sitting in the metal industry, sorry, I'm being a little bit longer,
Mhm.
sitting
No
in the
problem.
metal industries,
Yeah.
not all of them,
Mm.
remember they come from hardcore of this old, what do we call it, old school fashion,
Mhm.
right? They don't really go looking at a computer. They'll, okay, this one. Yeah, this one. They look at the picture, right? Sometimes picture interesting, right? And then they call people. and things like that. And similarly can be approached to when this exhibition taking place, let's say Steel Fab or SGI or all that, given to all these
Industry people, yes,
they come in,
stakeholders.
and it does has, but has to be regular basis, taking their details, what their companies are, and sending these things,
Sure.
and all the industry zones, factory areas,
Sure.
should be given frequently, and having this type of meetings in a much more regular basis, so
Perfect.
that we can interact and meet each other and share our ideas. And yes, the market is down, but when market is down, at the same time people want to look for idea, how do we actually go up?
Exactly.
And people at that point, the advertising industry will run better,
Right.
because when you're looking to go up, you want to advertise more,
Right. Right.
right? So that industry kicks in.
Yeah.
And the metal industry is pretty much regular. They go up and down and everything, but they actually stay in a much more in a stable.
Stable way. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't really go that down, they don't really go that up, and I think they stay
In that range. Yeah.
in a level. Yeah, what happens is then the clients are asking more credit. Well, that's what you're going to prepare for, but that otherwise they're still buying and the market is still.
Oh, okay. Great stuff.
And I think yes, market will go up, inshallah. In this coming very near future, the market will go up. There are news from the ministry, the markets will go up.
Okay. Excellent.
Not very rapidly, but gradually
Okay.
it will pick up.
Okay. Excellent stuff. So we have a new member here. So perhaps if you could just introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Samir. I'm a technical manager in Mason Life. We are purely into the signage industry. We have a small part to participate in metal industry. We're very new to metal industry. Definitely we will like to explore more into the metal industry. Metal industry compared to the signage industry is picking up very fast. We see a lot of potential in the metal industry. Definitely that is the next diversification for us. We have so many suppliers in metal industry. Definitely whatever the gentleman said is very true. The market is not all that enterprising, but definitely in near future it should be picking up. So that is my say. Metal industry is one such junk where you create your own business. It's a platform basically, and definitely that will be the future. Yeah.
So now, do you have manpower to support this industry? That is a key question. Like because as you are becoming more sophisticated, do you have enough, knowledgeable, experienced professionals, staff, or workers for this particular segment?
See, we have been in this signage industry for almost 30 to 35 years. So we know what is the market. But definitely since metal industry is very new, it is a kind of exploration and experimentation. So it takes time. Right. And to supply the right machineries, right equipments, after sales, that is the most important. So.
Right. Excellent. You're into after sales as well, right? I mean,
Yeah.
so you were mentioning some time back. What is the thing like? I mean, how big is the after sales industry?
Actually, we do believe when we are providing a solution, like as I was speaking about CO2 technology, then fiber. Okay, fine enough. We sold the machine, and who gonna take care? Actually, the real thing starts then. This is after sales, and we have a big service team here, and they are getting all the trainings in manufacture site, like in Germany. They are going always. Then we are selling those machines so that we can cater, we can do everything after sales. We are providing them maintenance contracts also. We are here, we have our own warehouse where we are keeping, most running consumables items in the stock. So to cater the whole market, our aim is the standard should be maintained of our, brand, Trump. Machines should be running, even somewhere it's running 3 shifts also. When the market is a little bit down, it can come to 2 shifts, even 1 shift. So we are catering everyone. like this. And Alhamdulillah, we are running those machines, keeping them run all the way. Yeah.
Now, the most important thing is we are talking about, this market, this region. Now, which is the next growth market for your industry? Because why I'm asking you this question is, we can reach out to those people so that when you all are there, inshallah, during the HDI Dubai show, we can have those people come to your, particular pavilion. So which are the growth markets? Which are the, segments that you're looking at across maybe here, Europe, Africa? Which countries in Africa? If you can give us that information. So let's start with GCC. In GCC, everybody's talking about, say, Saudi Arabia. So any other markets?
Kuwait, sorry, Qatar. If they open up, but people are doing business, I mean, through Oman or whatever. We have a branch in Oman, so we're actually getting a very good response from that side. And that is a good coming up market in the, it's already, people have some of them that already have settled, but it did a little bit upset since this
global
issue they had.
Yeah.
And I believe that issue will be resolved very soon. Because Saudi King did meet in the last OSCE meeting in Saudi Arabia. They did meet up, they will work together. So I'm really hoping that they will resolve their differences, and so that it's much more open. So once it's open, so that is direct route from here. So that, and
what about Bahrain?
Bahrain, I can't say much. I think it's. I'm not really sure, to be honest. I have no experience, never been there. But yeah, it can be. But I think Saudi, because they want to do it. They really want to invest. They want to explore. And so in maybe in the coming time, it's going to be more. So right time to invest there, to open your branch there. We are planning. We actually have gone much more in it to open the branch there in Dammam, because we have several clients, which we all the time our engineering going from here, so which is comes more cost effective in that sense. So we want to open the branch there and get the hold of a market in much more comfortable for the client that we are here, and they find it better in that sense. In Africa, I think yes, Ghana, but I would say Ghana is still much more developed. There is a smaller country, like Congos and stuff like that. Congos, Congos, and a few other countries are small countries. They're coming up. Those clients, we have some of the clients from there, and it's only once you get in contact there with somebody, and you could have them your sub dealer, and then watch how they respond. If you think that you will go there and open the branch and whatever, no, it's not going to work. Get somebody from there, and they will be your sub dealer, so they will then run around for you, and the response is good then that way. And they are putting the investments. South Africa itself is actually growing up in a much more industrial side, and that wanted to enhance their services. Everybody want faster, and what we are talking about here in this table is actually faster. How do we actually make it faster? How do we actually make it when you're on a job shot, when you have a job, how do you actually bring the cost of a per part? And the only way you do it is something being done in 1 hour, 8-hour shift, and it's been done in 10 minutes, in 5 minutes. Simply the cost goes down. So that's what everybody looking at. That's what, and here in Dubai is the problem is that people want to cut down their staff, because staff cost you, which is not really a nice thing, because human values are there, and But as a business perspective, when you're looking at a business sides, you want to cut down cost whichever means, whether you need to cut down your staff, because staff would cost you the accommodation, their salaries, and loads of other things come along with it. So they would actually want something that, okay, one company, they actually had, I'm just going to give you the example, I'm not going to mention the name of the company. They had 8 water jets. Now imagine 8 water jets, the company using day and night, how many staff they were using. So they'd taken the laser machine from us, and they only require 1 or 2 people, and they remove 30 people. So that makes tremendous difference itself. And then the cost of electricity and everything, and running those things, and a mess in the whole company of 8 water jets. And so these are the things that actually people are looking for it. And I think, yeah, it will. It's at the moment is still to some people is the companies that I met, like armored vehicles and stuff like that, because they are European people. These companies that come from Europe, they already know fiber laser and CO2, because they've previously been working over there with these companies. A lot of companies here, they don't know. They know it, but they don't want to add it. They still want to go with the water jets and whatever the other old technologies are there. But I think they will convert. Not now, but once they feel the heat of the competition, that this so-and-so company, they're doing the same metal fabrication or metal engineering or whatever, or any kind of a metal cutting involved. So they see that these companies are providing better finishing, cheaper cost, and providing better, timing is better. They finish the product, the project before us, so they are winning. You have no choice but to compete with them. And how are you going to compete? Not with water jets. You're going to come out with. So time is changing slowly and surely.
That's great. So coming back to the countries, so we spoke about GCC, we spoke about Africa, and spoke about South Africa.
Right.
What about North Africa, Egypt, and the other markets? Do you think that is also something that you guys are looking at?
We do have actually our presence already there, because Trump is the multinationals. They are covering the whole region.
Right.
Even Pakistan, they have some machines.
Okay.
I'm from Pakistan.
Right.
They don't have directly, their own. They are not running directly, but maybe we will take care, or Singapore market they will take care. So they are covering the whole region, the whole world. So
Okay.
they are already there.
Okay.
It's not a new market.
No,
for
what I'm
us.
trying to say is,
Yeah.
when in the show here, there are a lot of people from Africa. They come here to get the best and most innovative products. So they normally come every year. So why I'm asking you is so that we can invite them, we can attract footfalls from those regions to benefit your business. So is there any market apart from these that you're looking at?
Egypt, definitely.
Yeah.
We do get, in the SGI and all these, I get a lot of people from, some from Lebanon as well.
Okay.
But I would say Egypt is much more. Egypt is much more of a country that they do produce, they manufacture things, and they did actually approach a number of clients. So there is a potential there. Pakistan, yes, India as well. But with these two countries, the problem is they like to go China or whatever. They actually want to buy from there. But yeah, there is, and they are actually changing, and they are interested in all these technologies and all these machineries. If I say similar type of response, if I had 20 clients from Egypt, similarly I had it from Pakistan or India. I don't know whether the exchange rate doesn't suit them when you do the dirham or the dollars or whatever, and then they straight away the thoughts kicks in their mind that what about if I go directly buy from China and things. So that, but again, I did had very close, and we do they again Not now, but it will be later on.
Eventually. Okay,
Eventually.
great. Okay, now the 3D modeling industry.
Yeah,
Okay.
before going
Yeah.
to anything
Yeah.
else,
Yeah.
I'll be answering your primary question.
Yeah.
Now, your question was what is the diversification? What is
Good.
the future?
Right.
So, based on our experience,
Right.
based on the industry requirements,
Yeah.
I think the future would be in 3D printing.
Mm.
It is not only on the silicon side, on the plastic side, but on the metal industry also.
Mhm.
That is the future.
Mhm.
The 3D printing, 3D modeling,
Mm.
and it should be the textile.
Okay. Mhm.
Now everything is getting digital.
Mhm.
Now we also have to look after the display side.
Mm.
Now what is the display side? Now earlier we used to have LCD screens.
Correct.
Now there is a big business for LED screens.
Mhm.
Now according to our experience, it should be these three sectors wherein that is the future of any industry. It should be 3D modeling or 3D printing. One is the textile printing, which will replace all the conventional machines, the printing machines on the conventional substrates. Like we have already replaced solvent machines with the UV machines. Now UV has to be replaced with something else,
Right.
which should be the textile,
Mm.
which is once again the future, because everything is eco-friendly, green, so no gases emitted and all this stuff. So that was one part of the question.
Mhm.
Now what is the future market?
Yeah. Mm.
Future market.
Yeah.
Future market is definitely Africa. Africa
Okay.
is one big market
Mhm.
where all the technological innovations, what we see nowadays, either we see it's been implemented in European countries
Right.
or developing countries or developed countries like us.
Mm.
Now, Dubai being a hub, UAE being a hub,
Mm.
as a traders hub, basically I'm speaking as a traders hub,
Yeah.
not a manufacturing side.
Yeah.
Manufacturing industry is growing very fast.
Right.
As Mr. Nawaz said, the automation is putting the manpower down,
Correct.
right?
Right.
So automation has to increase
Mm.
because industry requires new innovation.
Mm. Mm.
So it is increasing definitely,
Mm.
but the future market will be definitely Africa,
Africa.
because they need to upgrade themselves,
Mm.
and the money what we see coming from them is always the cash.
Mm.
We don't have any credit facilities,
Mm. Mm.
any credit dealings with them.
Mm.
It will only be a table cash with
Mm.
Africans.
Mm. Mm.
So the market basically, country to country when we are speaking, it should be Nigeria. Nigeria is one big hub where all the people
Yes.
from Africa, they come to Nigeria for the industrial requirements.
Mm.
Now if you see the airports basically,
Yeah.
if you see the airports, the majority of the airports which has been used is Kenya,
Mm.
Ethiopia,
Mm.
and on the other side is Nigeria.
Mm.
So these are the three places where most of the people are coming.
Mhm.
Now definitely our Chinese people are doing really great on African market.
Mhm.
So my question is, why not the other companies?
Mm.
Why not the other brands?
Mm. Mm. Mm.
So this is the second part of the question that.
So your products that you have,
Hmm.
I mean, you said 3D printing and 3D modeling. Are you venturing?
We are, as I told, we are also diversifying in metal industry.
Mm.
We are also looking our presence in 3D
Mhm.
industry
So
also.
where are you getting your raw materials from, or the?
It should be the European companies,
Okay.
because till now we did not see one single Chinese company which is passing all the requirements.
Right. So it is going to be a European brand being manufacturing here, or it's going to be.
It is. It is once again a trading business
trading,
basically.
okay.
We just
Right.
we take it and we resell it basically.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Got it. So what is the price range that you're looking at for such machines?
We did not yet step into that. We are
Okay.
just in the initial stages.
Okay.
We,
Okay.
There are a lot of industries where you can focus on. School is one of the best industry.
Schools,
Schoolings.
How?
Education industry, universities.
Right.
Every single school, they need at least minimum 10 to 15 3D printers on a small scale.
Yeah.
I'm just speaking on a small scale, not on a larger scale.
Got it.
On a smaller scale.
Yeah.
Universities.
Yeah.
Now 3D modeling is one of the biggest subjects. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. In the curriculum. Yeah.
Now how do we supply that? How do we get into that platform? That is
Okay.
companies, style is once again the future. If you see, textile is doing very good in India and Pakistan. Pakistan, textile, I have seen big machines, like if Signtrade is here, they have their Mimaki machines, which they are in collaboration with some other product. They have so many machines in Pakistan. Now, the investment, initial investment is very high, which here people they find very difficult. But a country like Pakistan or India, which is in the developing stages, and one single client is having 15 to 20 machines in one premise, it is really, you know,
So
it is the future basically.
okay, so textile printing, you mean to say garment printing?
It is either it is a garment printing, either it is a display side on your display side. Now everything has to come to the textile.
Yeah. Okay, great. So, anything else that you would want to add to the whole discussion? Anything that you, because now it's very difficult to get everybody onto one table, everybody's busy and you know, it's very difficult. So is there anything else that you would want to add to the whole gamut
So
of things?
the basic conversation is on your side also, like what is the future diversification for you, right? On which industry you have to, that is the whole point. SGI, we saw what was SGI in the previous year.
Right.
And definitely most of the companies now are planning to participate in SGI.
Correct.
So even for you, what is the future?
So
right?
what we are doing is, we have created a separate segment. Like what happens is, you know, it's like one size fits all. No, it's not that. We are having a specific section for the metals and engraving industry players, and this is the only thing, only platform in Dubai which is going to you know, support the industry. And as you rightly said, Mr. Nawaz, about the you know, magazines and you know, communication materials. So we are trying to build the industry. We are trying to grow the industry. Now
Or this type of a more gathering.
Exactly. So, but you will have to dedicate time. You know, I mean, it's very difficult for us to you know, call and say. Sometimes what happens is you're busy, and so everybody is busy. But this is for the industry, for you, that we are doing. So whenever we have the next one, we would love to have you all again, and perhaps some more people, you know, to add to the discussion. And this will help us to, you know, build our own, your own businesses, you know, actually, and along with that, we grow the industry. Now, the idea was, you know, people here, you know, this is a very dry industry, you know, B2B industry, very metals, and, you know, it's not a fashion product or something like that. So people have that kind of a marketing
It's a
approach.
behind the scene industry.
Exactly, behind the scene, but they are the heart and soul of many other industries.
Yeah.
So what is that heart and soul? We want to bring it out onto the public domain. So another very important thing, one question I have is, which are the vertical industries that you're looking at? Like for example, you said schools, okay, for 3D printing. Which, for your product lines, which are the vertical industries that you're looking at? So when we are running a social media campaign, okay, we don't do, you know, mass campaigns, we do targeted campaigns through social media, wherein we reach out. For example, you have a 3D printing you know, product. Now we will go and, like for example, you said schools, so we'll target schools for you. You got what I'm trying to say. Then similarly, if you're looking at, say, a textile or whichever industry, you know, so we'll focus only on that. So it doesn't go to the person standing on the road who's looking at his WhatsApp or, you know, Facebook or whatever. So that is what we do. So if you could give us from your sector also, which are the industries that you're looking at, similarly in your industry, what you're looking at, perhaps that will help us. So maybe we can start with you, Mr. Samir.
Well,
Schools
schools, universities. When we come to metal industry, metal industry is a very wide industry. Automotive, marine,
Yeah.
metal fabrication.
Metal fabrication.
Once again, sign industry. Sign industry also needs metal fabrication. Kitchen industry, kitchenware, kitchen equipments.
Yeah.
Now they're locally manufacturing it here.
Yeah.
Switchgear,
Switchgear.
firefighting equipments.
Firefighting.
Job shop.
Then armored vehicles and all that.
Air conditioning also.
Air conditioning. Anything else?
oil and gas companies.
Oil and gas.
They also involved in
Yes.
cutting the head gaskets. and stuff
Right,
like that.
oil and gas.
Yeah.
So we've got, I'll just repeat, schools and universities, automotive, marine, metal fabrication, signage industry, kitchen, switchgear, firefighting, job shoppers, air conditioning.
Marine,
Yeah, marine we have.
they also now want to move on to the fiber lasers and laser machines. Um,
Okay, now another thing, you said water jet machines, they had 8 machines and then, they moved on to laser cutting machines.
Yeah.
Right? Now, which is the technology, we did talk about 3D, but out of these which are currently available, which will sustain itself for the next 4-5 years, for example?
Of course, fiber laser.
Fiber laser?
um,
Okay.
I wouldn't write it off the water jet.
You
I wouldn't write it off
Okay,
completely.
okay.
That it will not.
Mhm.
I always advise the client that, let's say if you have 4 water jet, keep one,
Mhm.
right? So you can have sort of both. And I said I would say that yes, like washing machine comes up. It doesn't mean people don't wash the clothes today with the hands.
Mhm. Yeah.
But I would say no, water jet would stay,
Mhm.
but it's a something that you can't take.
Completely
They
off.
know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Something they can't take it from the CO2 or from the fiber laser
Mm.
as what the water jet you can take it out from.
Yeah, there is a heat effect for on the material.
Yeah.
So it is basically like CO2 can be replaced with the fiber machine, but water jet cannot be replaced with the fiber machine. The
Mm.
main reason is the materials,
Mm.
the applications.
Right.
Even a stone you can cut with the water jet,
No.
but you can't do it with a
Fiber laser. Yeah. Mm.
Glass you can cut with water jet.
Mm.
Yeah, people will minimize it.
Mhm.
Like people will definitely remove all the machinery where, okay, we need to keep one,
Mhm.
that or plasma or whatever.
Mhm.
That also, that's for really a thick and a big cutting,
Mhm.
like oil and gas. And
Right.
this was quite unusual demand that I had with
Mhm.
oil and gas,
Mhm.
that they wanted to cut their pipe, which is this big thick.
Mhm.
So the laser cannot penetrate
Right.
this high thickness,
Mhm.
and where the water jet would, or plasma.
Mhm.
But there was the company, they actually then bought the insisted actually that they wanted to buy, when we advised them that what is suitable for you and
Mm.
what is not suitable for you.
Mm.
At that point, they wanted to buy that
Right.
for their head gasting, cutting the head gaskets like around, they just
Right.
cut, and that is a G10 material.
Right.
And so they basically the material come from USA. So they wanted to cut as it is,
Mhm.
which they were cutting on the water jet,
Right.
and costing them so much, and the speed is so slow.
Right.
Like one sheet was cutting in 8 hours,
Mhm.
a whole shift,
Mhm.
and where was cutting in 1 hour on a fiber laser,
Mhm.
the whole shift of it. So you see the
Change difference.
the
8 times.
significant difference there.
Right, right,
So this is the reason they insisted and they wanted it.
Mhm.
The problem was the heat,
Right.
that how much heat would, but then we adjust that into the heat of the bringing it lower,
Right.
and where their product could take the heat up to 500 degree,
Mhm.
where when you do on the cutting on the laser machine,
Mhm.
the heat maybe generate up to 100 degree,
Mhm.
sometime less. It depends how faster you're gonna go at certain point.
Right. Right.
So there is a demand,
Mhm.
and then once we done that, they are actually planning to have the machineries in their all the other units.
Right.
Like they have in Singapore, they have in Kuwait, they have in 2 here, 1 here. So that which given me idea, and I start approaching the oil and gas companies
Mhm. Mhm.
and the other companies. So yes, and I think the technology from laser perspective will be increasing.
Mhm. Mhm.
Today we are talking about CO2 and fiber laser. It could be something else next.
Right.
you know, and it will be going up.
3D cutting is coming already.
Yeah, 3D cuttings is there.
3D cutting, molding.
Great. So I would like to just summarize the whole thing. I mean, like we started with the challenges that we faced, you know, we are facing in the industry. Then we looked at possible solutions, you know, like, you know, communication tool or a magazine or something like that, which brings the whole industry together. Then we talked about the growth markets. Then we talked about now the technology. So, and what we have is, I mean, for more information with regard to the show itself and how we can support you, maybe, you know, Dilip can actually share more information on that. But in the meanwhile, what we plan to do is we have newsletters that we send out across to the industry. So we will create a specific newsletter for you, which reaches out to your target audience, right? And we have your card, so if you have more questions and stuff like that, we will definitely be in touch with you on that front. So anything else that you would want to add to the discussion? Anything else at all? Vandana, anything you?
No.
Yeah, great.
Just listening, taking it in.
Excellent, excellent.
I think what you have mentioned at the end, which is to target new industries.
Correct.
That would be a good way to target
New segments, yeah.
new segments.
Right,
Exactly.
right. One thing I wanted to ask you is, see, how's the UAE market for you guys? I mean, we talked about other markets. What about UAE? Do you have target audience here, you know, and your potential in this market? When you compare the percentage of business that comes to your bottom line, how much is the percentage from UAE itself? Roughly, is it 10%, 20%?
If you are talking about market share,
Mm.
then it's, you know, it goes one by one.
Mm-hmm. That's going to do.
We are covering almost 7 to 80% of CNC laser
Mhm.
machines.
Okay.
For all market.
Okay.
UAE market.
Okay.
And there is a good potential.
So
Even the government also involved, if we can.
Mhm.
We have a first, you know, defense.
Mm.
They were having outsourced. They were outsourcing all the jobs. Then they bought their own machines,
Mhm. Mhm.
laser machines. Now
Okay.
They are
Doing it on their own, yeah. Okay.
So, a big potential market. This is a base.
Mhm.
This is a hub, and
Okay.
it will remain for long.
Okay. Great. Okay. Fine. So, anybody else?
Yeah, I think rightly said that, yeah, government sector should be approached
Mm-hmm.
and bring some kind of awareness to them so they can come to the show when next happens.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have converted some of the companies to give them the not outsourcing, but that actually took us a lot of hard work to convert them
Mm.
because they are really used to it with outsourcing.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that, but
Mm.
we want to sell, right? So how he's going to buy, he's used to it, giving all his work, all his cutting, all his whatever metal fabrication is given to a company, they then cut and give it to them. And then they assemble or whatever. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but when one thing, and I say to them, and which is a fact, when you outsource, when you're a company and you have a really very prestige reputation out in the market,
Right.
The moment you give your outsourced work,
Mm.
then those people bank on you.
Mm.
They go to the same where they get the work from.
Yeah.
They go and tell them, look, this company,
Mm.
a big company, you give me the work to them, but I'm the one who actually cutting.
Mhm.
We're the one actually supplying to them.
Mm.
So your credibility goes down.
Right.
And that actually click in so many clients' minds. So I'm
Mm.
sharing that with you. Guys
Right.
can use that.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And it is a fact.
Right.
When you're outsourcing, your credibility goes down.
Yeah.
Which means it's not you,
Mm.
it's other companies are doing it for you.
Mm.
You're just putting your bits and pieces together and basically
Mm.
putting your company name, brand up.
Mm.
But actually, you're not the one who's doing it.
Mm.
So on those bases, and these are some of the government's companies as well,
Right.
and they are outsourcing. Outsourcing costs them